Week 16 of the NFL season is here, and to kick it off, we have Rams, we have Seahawks in an NFC West showdown that has massive playoff implications. So everything you need to know for this game, we're going to break it down for you. Everything from the DFS betting perspective that you need to spin to win for Thursday night action in Week 16 on Fantasy Spin, coming up next. I am Colby Conway. You can find me over on X at Colby R. Conway. And to help me with the game this week, I brought in Sean Mitchell at SMitchell17 over on X. So, Sean, NFC West, a rematch between these two teams a couple of weeks back. Rams won 21-19. Before I get into this first spin, what kind of has your eye in this game? How do you see this playing out? Or maybe even who's that one player we got to have in our lineup?
Well, for one, I mean, the news on Davante Adams is pretty crucial, right? I mean, he looked really rough on that play last week, pulled up on the hamstring, really lame, went out directly, has not practiced yet. That could obviously make, a guy like Puka Nacua obviously a must-have in this game. The other big thing about this is the weather. Saw today, Kevin Roth, reporter over at Roto-Grinders, he is essentially saying that there are going to be gusts from 20 up to 40 mile an hour during this game. There's a pretty decent chance of rain. So he's got this game right now clocked at orange, which is mainly for the wind. So, going to be looking at that more closer right up to lock. Make sure that wind is not going to be just a huge factor. It could really affect the kicking game, could really affect the long, deep passes. So just a couple things right there that I'm really going to be looking for going into this game, this rematch.
Absolutely. And I'm looking at it here. I want to check this because I don't believe – yep, they don't even have Davante Adams in the player pool. So we don't have to worry about spinning him here. I'm with you. I don't think he plays. I think it would be – with how it looked on a short week and kind of just looking ahead, there's really no reason for the Rams to push him. Though I will say, supposedly they brought the chamber back that made Matthew Stafford 5 years younger in the span of like a couple weeks.
Right. So anything can happen these days, right? Anything can happen with the technology we have.
Modern medicine is quite the thing these days. So we'll give it our first spin here. And I told you before we started recording, the first question that comes up, we have Matthew Stafford, we have Sam Darnold. Going back to that game earlier this season, Stafford had a season low 130 yards, did have 2 touchdowns. Also in that game, while Darnold had 44 pass attempts, he also threw 4 interceptions. So we only get 4 locks. We got 6 spins to fill. Do we need to use a lock on a quarterback?
Kind of going back to the preface that we had there with the wind, honestly, I wouldn't mind having like 3 running backs in one lineup from this game. Both teams like to utilize both their running backs, Sharbs, Kenneth Walker. Then you got Corum, who's come on a lot lately with, Kyron Williams. Honestly, I wouldn't mind not locking a quarterback just on the first spin. I noticed we have 2 more. I feel like with the condensed player pool in this one, with it being a single game, that there's probably a lot more chances of us getting a quarterback on that second and third spin as well, and possibly getting a better stat. So for me, I think you could just roll the dice.
Yeah, and we're going to get basically that quarterback spot we do have to fill. So we are guaranteed to have one of Stafford or Darnold no matter what. I am with you. I like the running backs, though I will say that my love for the position is very skewed to the one side of this, aka the Kyron and Corum side.
Yeah.
I'm a Ken Walker truther. I will die on the hill that he is talented and everybody else around him. What happened with like Aaron Rodgers today as we're recording this on Wednesday? Wasn't it something he's like, nobody wanted these guys. They came here and now we've been good. And then they said, well, you were cut. And then he took offense to it. That's going to be me to Kenneth Walker. It's like, no matter what, Kenneth Walker can do no wrong. But Colby, there's this video. He missed this hole. That's the offensive lineman's fault. It's not where the play was supposed to go. Ken Walker can do no wrong in my eyes, but I am scared to death to ever lock him in a spin. But maybe you can talk me into locking him in.
I mean, like I said, I think you kind of, I think you can. In this game, I really do. Like, I think he is a player that you kind of want to have. He's probably easily going to see upwards to 8 to 10 carries. He could easily break one. He is the breakaway guy. He's the home run hitter. It's not Sharp, really. Although Sharps does have a couple of longer touchdowns this year, he's mainly used near the goal line. So really we'd be looking for Kenneth Walker to get those long breakaways and also to catch some passes, those short intermediate routes, possibly out of the swings out of the backfield. So get that because this is 4 point, correct? Am I correct on that? 4 point PPR, 1 point.
This is full point. Yep.
Okay, so right there, that kind of gives a little added extra value for Ken Walker, in my opinion.
Yeah. In that game earlier against the Rams, he had 16 for 67 and a rushing touchdown, believe it or not. And then 3 catches for 44 yards. But I don't want to delve too deep into this, but I want to get out there because it hit my brain here. Is Ken Walker the Puka Nacua of the Seahawks? And by that, I mean he's used a lot. And then the second they get near the red zone, he's not allowed to be on the field at all. Puka's not allowed to score touchdowns from close.
I was about to say that has been the Davante Adams role, right? And now, Davante Adams is out, what we feel like. So, but that is kind of a good way to put it, though. Sharps has been the shoe-in as soon as they get in the 10-yard line. So, yeah, I mean, that does hurt his value there. That is a good analogy, though. I mean, Puka has not really scored a lot of touchdowns, albeit he's kind of been like the Ken Walker between the 10 and 20, So, yeah, I like that.
It's Puka everywhere until they get closer to the red zone. It's like that chart that's like the F around and find out thing as it goes up. It's like at Puka's usage near the end zone just starts going down, down, down. They just will not let him score from close. So we only pull Ken Walker on that first spin there. So we are going to spin it again here, and we do get a couple good ones. So I think we have to lock in Kyren.
Yeah, Kyron's the easy one. We still have 2 spots. Kyren wanted to get that one of those running backs from the Rams. Cooper Kupp is very interesting. Again, this is a revenge game. What was his game that he had, which also was Torrey Horton playing the last time they played? I can't recall. They didn't have Rashid Shaheed. I know that. But I'm not sure if Torrey Horton's in. Either way, Cooper Kupp has been a little interesting. I think there might be a little bit of added interest for Cooper Kupp in this game, seeing how is the Rams. They didn't really want him anymore after last year. So, yeah, I mean, I think he could be a guy that you could lock in. You're already going to get a quarterback. You still could get a chance at either Sharps or Blake Corum in the next spin. So the only bad thing here is if you're taking him. But, I mean, also, we can unlock him if we do happen to get a better wide receiver also in that same retrospect. Right? I am correct with that?
If we had another spin, we could. So basically, we're down to 1 spin. So basically, what we can end up doing here, we take Kupp now, which my next thing would be at this point, if we already have Kupp and Walker, do we take Darnold? So at least we have that going. We go with these 4, Darnold, Walker, Kupp, and Kyren, and then we're spinning for the last 2 flex spots, which still leave the door open because it's flex. Yes, we can get the kicker. Yes, we can get these not as good wide receivers, but we have 2 shots to get Puka, or 2 spots where Puka, JSN, and like a Blake Corum,
Shaheed, or Corum. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and I mean, honestly, spinning for these last 2, we can't really do worse than 2.
No, and yeah, right. Like that's kind of the way I'm thinking too. Like I do like that train of thought there. You're making a bet on Seattle here. I don't mind it. You've already got Walker. We locked him in. You got Kyren, which is a big piece that you want on the other side already, especially if this game does get extra windy and they are going to run the football a lot more. So, yeah, I like this train of thought. I like where we're at.
And I would love to see JSN or Puka come up.
Corum. Well, we got Corum.
Corum and Barner. It could be worse. I mean,
I like Barner. I do like Barner. I actually think that's a really decent spin for us on the last one.
Would you believe me? Would you believe me if I told you that Barner had 10 for 70 in the last game against the Rams?
I would, because I do think I recall that game.
You did?
They've used Barner like that a lot this year. So, yeah, honestly, I don't mind that. I think he might be one of those pieces that not a lot of people take, too, like in a bigger contest. So, I think that could be a leverage piece.
And especially in showdown slates like this, too. Sometimes it's not necessarily the guy that you want. It's the guy that you get, especially on FantasySpin, that can win. I know it comes up a couple of times, but back in Week 12 on the Thursday night game between Buffalo and Houston, I'll admit, as the Houston fan, I did not lock Davis Mills in as my quarterback. I got stuck with Davis Mills, and I was like, well, this was a really good lineup except for that. That lineup ended up finishing in the top 3.
It's always the ones that you think are just going to totally fall flat that usually end up being the ones you need, right?
That's right. And I'd be okay if Barner pops off here in this lineup, and maybe he'll even be a part of our pick'em slip here. So we got to pick 3, at least 1 Ram and 1 Seahawk. So of the players that we got in this lineup, which player or players do you like to exceed their projected fantasy point total as shown on the screen?
I mean, I want to say Kyren right off the bat. I feel like he's going to get the carries. He could possibly get a catch or 2, and we're just going to obviously hope that he gets a touchdown. I mean, that's going to be the main thing. And honestly, I wouldn't mind doing both of those guys. I think
Mhm.
Corum and Kyron, I think both of these guys are going to exceed their projections. 7.3 on Corum. That's he could knock that with what, 6-7 carries and 40-50 yards. If he happens to get a touchdown, it's all gravy from there, and you've got the cake, the icing on the cake. Now the last spot I think is a bit trickier. I lean Darnold, to be honest, just because I feel like he's probably going to have to throw a little bit more. But I could probably be swayed on Barner, but I think that projection is just a tad too high. Where are you at on these guys?
I was stuck between Darnold and Kupp.
Okay.
Just because my wife's a Rams fan, so I watch the Texans at 1 and I watch the Rams at 4. It's classic Sunday every day in the Conway household here. And I have been saying for weeks, I was like, you got to be careful with Emmanuel Forbes. Yeah. He looks okay right now, but I'm telling you, this guy, he got the former first-round pick tag for a reason.
Right, yeah.
We're starting to see it. He got abused in that Carolina game. He looked bad last week. I like going at Forbes. I know he plays more in the perimeter, and that's more kind of JSN's realm. But I like Cooper Kupp. So I was torn between Darnold and Kupp, personally.
So let me ask you this: are you going to have to sleep on the couch tonight if you don't select Kupp?
Well,
or is she still a Kupp fan? Let me put it that way.
She's still a Kupp fan. Our second dog that we got's named Cooper.
Oh, okay.
So
if it's going to affect your home life, we can go with Kupp. No.
let's do both, because if Kupp gets there, Darnold's getting there. So let's just do both.
That's a good way to think about it too. Like that's the correlation play in 1-2. So I like
absolutely.
It.
So we'll lock that 4 pick in. Try to turn 1,000 tokens here into 10,000, and then we're gonna do one more spin. I got to get a Puka and or JSN.
We need one. You can't have a spin and not get at least one of those guys.
Well, let me tell you, I've done this enough. You definitely can.
JSN, and you get them both on the same one. So yeah, I like that. You get JSN, you get Darnold, bang bang.
Yep, and I think that's what I was just going to say. I think at that point, this is a game where it's close enough where it's not like we're getting Bills Browns on Monday night, where it's like, hey, you have to have Josh Allen. You can't have Shadur Sanders. Like in this case, I'm almost comfortable going the first spin and saying, hey, if I get JSN, Kupp, and Darnold, I'm taking the 3 of them right there. If I get Puka, Parkinson, and Stafford, I'm locking those 3 in right there. I want the stack. That's what I'm looking at.
I agree. And again, if you don't get that, kind of like we did in the first spin, like this is also one of those games that doesn't have like 2 just elite quarterbacks that you just have to have. So yeah, I totally agree there. And this is obviously landed right where we kind of want it.
And then yay or nay on Sharps?
I think we can. The only risk is if obviously it depends on if we get to a Ram running back that we would want and a Puka in the next spin. So I think we can roll the dice since we do have 2 more spins. If that's good with you, I'm good with that. I'm a gambler. So
I know there's still 2 spins left, and that running back spot, as we can see, they're up underneath the his name and stuff, ranks 3 out of 4. Up in that dedicated running back spot, it's only Kyron, Corum, Sharbs, or Ken Walker. So we have a 1 in 4 shot, and I think Sharbs might be my least favorite of the 4.
Yeah, I mean that's also a good point. That's also a great point.
So. And then we leave those spots open there. So let's throw Sharbs back. Let's keep Darnold and Smith and Jigba, and we'll go to another spin. And there it is, baby.
And we called it right there. There you go.
Kyron. And I wonder if Puka's streaming buddies will be there, if we're allowed to talk about that or not.
Oh boy. We don't want to go on. We don't want to get into that subject, do we?
No, we do not want to at all. But this is a great start to the lineup here. And really, you get Kyron, we got JSN, we got Puka, we got Darnold. Now it's at this point, it's just really best player available. So I think one of my favorite plays is I really like Colby Parkinson. Everyone's going to look at the injury report, and Higbee was limited Monday and Tuesday, but McVay's already come out and said he's not playing. And neither's Rob Havenstein, but we don't get points for him. So I would love to see Colby Parkinson, and then really maybe Shaheed. We haven't seen him yet. So
yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, here we go. This is the last spin for spin number 2. This is a great lineup thus far. Don't let us down.
And I mean, that's not bad though. I'm fine with that. I mean, because obviously, with Davante Adams likely not playing, Mumpfield's going to see the field a lot. So I'm totally fine with that. And
he's already been playing.
That's what I was
playing
about to say.
A half amount too.
Whittington's not been the guy that's been coming in on the 3 wide receiver set. It's been Mumpfield for the most part. So, I like that. I think he's going to see a lot more playing time.
Absolutely. And in past weeks too, you'll see it when they go jumbo at the 3 tight ends, it's Mumpfield who's out wide. And this past week, they finally did whenever they see jumbo, it's one of 3 things. And I know this is a very not bold take whatsoever. It's very obvious because it happens all the time. It's either a handoff out of jumbo, obviously. It's the bootleg back with Colby Parkinson leaking under that. And then last week, they finally took a shot off of it. It didn't connect, but that was to Mumpfield. And Mumpfield's good. I'm telling you, he's shifty. I met his parents.
He's caught a couple touchdowns this year already.
Yeah. I met his parents at the airport in LAX, so I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So rooting for them a little bit.
Added extra there.
Yeah, it's that personal touch that stats and research can't quantify.
Right. No, I think this is a solid team, man. You get Walker, like I said, I think in all reality, like Walker and Shaheed could easily score similarly. And I think that's totally fine. I think that's fine. We got both starting running backs on both teams, and then you got the JSN and Nakua and Darnold. I don't really think you can ask for much better than that. And then, like I said, Mumpfield's going to play a lot. So, yeah, I really like this lineup a lot.
And again, sometimes it's not the ones you want. Sometimes it's the ones that you get. And if Mumpfield gets that touchdown, we could be in the money with the studs that we have there. So let's do one last quick pick 'em here. We did Darnold in the other one. What do you think here of the players here that you like? Oh, I guess we had Kyron in the other one as well, which we can do again. Totally fine with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Kyron is going to be one that we'll roll in. I think Nakua, you kind of got to roll with him if he's the top player in this game. It's going to revolve around him, so he's going to catch all those middle and passes and everything.
Can we just go JSN? Just make the all chalk play.
Exactly. I think that at that point you just go JSN and hope he continues doing what he's doing. I mean, he's the quietest 100-yard averaging wide receiver I think I've seen in a league up to my point of playing fantasy football. It's crazy how good he's been.
Yep. And in that earlier matchup against the Rams, caught 9 of 12 targets for 105 yards. And again, going back to my Emmanuel Forbes slander over the last 4 weeks, only the Lions and Falcons have allowed more fantasy points per game to receivers than the LA Rams. So
there you go.
We will lock that in. And right there, we'll go 3 pick to 5X there, turn 1,000 to 5,000. And there you go. That line is projected to finish 6th in this contest.
That's a winner, man. That's a winning roster right there.
That would be certainly quite nice for the Thursday night slate. But that's all you need to know for Rams Seahawks here on Fantasy Spin. So, Sean, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you on X? Any content, anything else you want to promote? The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, man. Well, first off, appreciate you having me, Kobe. It was a pleasure. Fun time. Really like this format. It's a really cool format. But yeah, over on X, you can argue with me all day for the most part at SMitchell17. If you do like best ball, I am going to be starting to get fire up the YouTube again. I got started kind of late last year doing best ball streams on YouTube. That is youtube.com/@XTDBBL, Extend the Drive Best Ball Live. Look for that probably at the end of January, probably February, because I think that'll be when the big board drops. So obviously hope to have you on as well.
Yep. Absolutely. And once again, give him a follow on X at SMitchell17. You can find me on X at Colby R. Conway. And if you want to spin to win and experience the newest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports for the rest of the football season, other sports on there as well. There's golf, hockey, basketball, college football, college basketball. No better time to join the action now on Fantasy Spin. And if you've caught the Sirius XM segment of Fantasy Spin, they dropped the Fantasy Spin holiday track in the app. So while you're spinning now, you can get that catchy little what do they say when a song gets stuck in your ear? Is that an earworm?
Yeah,
how would they call it?
Yeah.
Like that's the earworm of the season right there, the Fantasy Spin holiday track. So make sure you check it out. Head over to the Google Play and the Apple App Store. Download the Fantasy Spin app today, and we will see you on the leaderboard. What's up, y'all? Hope you enjoyed the content. For the avoidance of doubt, please note that I, Colby Conway, am a DFS player entering these contests under the username Colby Conway. The strategies and recommendations in this video do not necessarily reflect the views of Fantasy Spin. Please play responsibly and visit fantasyspin.com/responsible gaming to take advantage of Fantasy Spin's responsible gaming resources.